So, I want to say thank you to a lot of people. Before I thank anyone else, I need to really, I feel like I'm going to cry. I want to get down on my knees and I want to thank my manager, pregnant man emoji Mane-san, who did so much to bring this to life. First of all, and I think that this film is as much mine as it is yours. So what I think that, you know, while this is what I thought about while I was writing that scene, while this is what I thought about while I was filming it, it might not be all that it means. And if it means something to you, if that scene does something to, if it makes you feel something, and if it makes you feel something that's different from what it felt to me, then that's good, right? This is something that I feel about art films a lot. And for those of you who maybe don't watch them all the time or maybe aren't that familiar, I really, really want to encourage you, try and watch some art films and don't fall into the trap of how a lot of people view art film. Art film is not about figuring it out. That's never been what these films are supposed to be. It's never, oh, I get it. Films are not a puzzle. Art is not a puzzle. It's not supposed to be a chance for you to prove how smart you are, nor is it a chance for you to call anyone who does vibe with it pretentious. A film is art in a sense that it will present you with imagery and with characters and with stories, and it is for you to apply your own meaning and your own understanding of what those things are about. It's like tasting whiskey. Whiskey or wine or any of those kinds of things, tea, are such complex beverages, such complex tastes that they have slightly different notes and aromas to everyone who tastes them. That's why they're so brilliant. They are so complex that your summation of experiences over your life has changed the way that you taste things. And when you taste those drinks, you will have a different experience from someone else. It's why so many people despise whiskey, but I love it. And it's why a lot of people despise art film, but I love it. When you're watching, I tell you guys something. Apart from after I got back and after I transferred the files over, and after I and basically just did a little bit of color correction, sound work, effect work and stuff, I edited that whole thing on my fucking laptop. At a dinner table. On a metal little fucking chair. I locked in harder than I ever have. I sat down and I was so into this that I edited this whole fucking thing on my laptop. And of course, I have to talk about the best kept secret of all. Fulgur Ovid. Fu-chan, my boo-boo-chan, my brother, my Lambro. So, for those of you who are not aware, he's talked about this before, but due to, you know, his health issues, Fulgur can't have his own 3D debut. He can't make it out to Japan, and he won't be able to have, I'm going to call you Boo-Boo-chan as often as I want. And that script is heavily based on a real conversation that I had with Fu-chan. And I was writing this script, and what's really interesting about it is that while that conversation was based on something that I talked with him about, the idea of the scene on the beach, I wasn't sure who I was going to do it with for a long time. I thought about, oh, maybe we could get some crazy celebrity guest, or maybe we could do this, or maybe we could do that, and I was stumped for a really, really long time. I was like, God, I don't know. What am I going to do for this? And then the moment I thought about Fu-chan, it all clicked into place, because I realized, yeah, he can't have his own 3D debut. He's my brother. He should be a part of mine. Fulgur, I'm so grateful to him. I know he's here. Fulgur, I'm so grateful to you for letting me do that scene, because it was so important to me to have someone that I look up to so much and who has helped me so much, and also to set the record straight on a number of different things. Our journey as a pair of people in the public eye has been fascinating, and the way that you've supported me behind the scenes non-stop, every day, constantly, is something that I want the world to know about. What did you say in chat, you softy? There's us. So you got me in the background doing like the... Hey, here's another screenshot. Because I have wound up killing so many, and every time I do, I come to understand that person this well.
And then, of course, she fell in love with you.
When you do this, when you do this enough, it's impossible not to love people. It's impossible not to think human beings are just the most incredible things that exist, because you understand them so thoroughly, and it is fascinating.
So much.
No matter what, no matter what they've done, no matter what the context in which you know them is, no matter what they do to you, no matter what they've done to other people, it's very rare to find a soul that doesn't have good in it, that doesn't have its own, that doesn't have a huge amount of humanity. And that's kind of what this is supposed to be about. This guy's role in the film. The stairs. So the way this worked is that obviously this is all filmed on in a studio space. And the way that this worked is they literally, so again, this scene is a nod to Perfect Blue, and I wanted it to be on stairs to portray the difference between myself and this version of myself that I see in the distance, how much farther ahead it is, how much stronger it is, how much more refined and mysterious it is, and how I feel that I cannot reach that. And it's only when I become too angry that I reach it and I wind up destroying it. You know, and if only I could control my anger and my insecurity and my frustration, maybe I'd be able to reach that in more of a healthy way, but I've yet to be able to do that. And the way that this was done is that they built stairs out of wooden boxes, strong, sturdy wooden boxes with weights in them, and lots and lots of tape and safety mats all around. And there were 4 steps. And what I would do is film, and they would film me walking up the steps, and then we would cut to a different angle. I would walk back down, and then I would walk back up to the top of the steps, and we would cut all the way around to show me walking all the way to the top of the steps. It took a long time, but man, I was so happy. I was so happy to get to do that, because that, I was telling people at the time, that to me felt like real fucking independent filmmaker spirit shit. You know, that to me felt, that was what filmmaking was about to me. Filmmaking is about being given a scene. You're given the script and it's like, well, we have to do this. How are we going to do this? What tools do we have available? I know. And then you make it work. However you make it work, you make it work. And there was something about how fun it felt to put all of those things together. And it was so good. It was so good. Oh no. So another thing about this one, the version of me running up the stairs was played by me, and then the one walking away was Mane-san. But then the moment we pull down the stairs, swap roles, because I was never going to write a scene where I, you know, try and ask someone else to do something physical like that. I was not going to do that. So we swapped roles, and I took on the one getting dragged down the stairs. Which is funny because that's the exact moment where we're supposed to kind of swap perspective to this one and kind of show, hey, reminder, that's you, buddy. You're not chasing down some invisible figure that you're annoyed with and you're gonna get rid of. That's you. Yeah, I like this a lot. Right, well, safe travels. My butt looks so cute in that shot, you know. I was going to leave that as the final line, but then Fu-chan wrote this next one.
Just give it time and listen to those that care about you at least as much as you listen to those who don't.
Hearing that, he wrote that and he sent it to me like, hey, can I have this line at the end? And hearing that, I feel like even though I was already making such strides as a person in it through the creation of this film, that line felt like a bomb to me. I was like, oh, wow. I love this shot as well. I love this show as well. Who's Vic? We'll talk about that when the scene comes up. But I think in the creation of this film, I felt that it was important to bring his story out into the light. And there's a lot more that I'll be able to tell you about it eventually. But I want to clarify that when I tell Tenchi's story, more in the way that I want to tell it, I can tell you right now that it will be my biggest project ever. It will be the next level up, let's say, like a step beyond what I've done so far, because it needs to be, that's what it needs to be. I don't know if I'll get to do that. I don't know if I will have the opportunity to in a while, but when and if I do get the chance to, it will be big, because he deserves that. Oh, yes. Okay, Terushka, thank you for reminding me. I know you won't spill the beans in full. Any hints as to why Tenchi calls you Vic here? Well, of course. We have difficult names. We have difficult names. Most people that I interact with on a day-to-day don't call me Vox out in public. I need to go by a code name. And when, back in the day when Tenchi and I used to hang out a lot, he called me Vic. As in Victor, not Adams. We needed to call each other some slightly simpler names. Although, well, there's a lot I could say about this man and what he's run into because of the way he looks. And so, yeah, code names can only really take you so far. It's an interesting story, but, more for the future.